Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video is my first n8n tutorial, and throughout the next few days I will be dropping a new n8n tutorial, and with each video we'll focus on more complex techniques and more complex tools, and by the end of this program you will have a great understanding of n8n and you can hopefully use it to create amazing workflows for yourself and your clients. With that being said, uh, the topics I will focus on throughout this program are very high yield, and these are the things that you absolutely need. So if you want to get notified whenever I drop a new video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification. This way you will be notified each time I upload a new video. With that being said, let's start with our first workflow. So when you navigate to n8n, you will start from this web page, and this is where you build your workflow. And whenever you're working on a workflow, the first thing you need is a trigger. So trigger is what starts your workflow. Without a trigger you cannot start your workflow. So go ahead and click on this plus sign, and once you do that you can see a range of triggers we have. You can choose a trigger such that whenever you message n8n, the workflow is going to get activated, or you can do a webhook, or you can restart your workflow on a set schedule, like after 15 minutes, each hour, each day, twice a week, whatever you want. Or you can choose on app event, or really you can connect it to WhatsApp and start your workflow whenever you receive a WhatsApp message, or even email, it doesn't matter. But for this video I'm gonna use form as our trigger. So whenever someone fills out a form, our workflow is gonna get activated. So I'm gonna choose this one, and here we are gonna leave it as a test, and we need to provide our form with a title. So I'm just gonna say consulting schedule, okay? And then we need to provide a description. So I'm just gonna say choose the date of your appointment, and then we can provide some elements in our form. So the first element is going to be email address. So I'm just going to say email address, and for the type we want to choose email. When we set the element type to be email, we make sure that when users provide some non-valid email addresses, we are not gonna accept that, and we are gonna let them know that they need to put a valid address. So I'm just gonna say a required field, and we are gonna add another field, and for this field I'm gonna ask them for their desired time. So I'm gonna say desired time, and for the element type I'm gonna say date, and I'm gonna say it's a required field, and we are good to go. So if I click on this button right here, we can test that a specific module only. So I'm gonna click on this, and as you can see I'm navigated to a new web page, and I'm gonna provide an email address, and also I'm gonna provide a date which is 2 days from today, and I'm gonna submit the form. And if I go back to n8n, we can see that we have received our information. So, and if I go back, you can see that I have one item, and that item is basically this whole chunk of information. It's called an item, and each item has different subparts, and in n8n each module outputs an item, and for this specific module the item is this one. And also whenever you want to get this information you need to run the workflow, unless you pin this information such that you do not need to rerun it in the future when you're testing your workflow. It's very important in more I would say complex workflows, when you cannot initiate a workflow whenever you want to test a workflow. So I'm just gonna pin this information so we can use it for later. Now now that we have our trigger and now that we have collected our desired information, it's time to do something with this information. And in order to do that, we need to click on this plus sign to come up with the next node in our workflow. So I'm going to click on this, and here I want to use an if condition. So basically we want to see whether the desired date of our client is within 7 days from now. And if it's within 7 days from now, we're going to take certain actions. And if it's not within 7 days from now, we're going to take another set of actions. So as you can see, we have our value 1 condition and value 2 here. So our value 1 is a desired date, and I'm just going to drop the desired date from here to here, and here we can choose our operation. So I'm going to say date and time, and I'm going to say is before or equal to. So we have our date, and we want to make sure whether this date is within 7 days from today. How are we going to do that? So in order to do that, we need to provide some codes to n8n. Don't worry, these are not advanced codes. So in order to do that, I'm gonna have 2 set of curly braces, and inside of the curly braces, I can have a set of functions, right? So for instance, I can have the $sign, and once I type the $sign, I can see all the functions that are available to me. And one of the functions is called now. If I choose now, it gives us the date of today. So I'm going to click on that, and as you can see, we currently have today's date, which is October 1st. But we are not interested in today's date. We are interested in 7 days from now. So I'm just gonna type dot, and once I do that, I'm gonna be provided with another set of tools I can choose from, and one of them is plus. So I'm gonna click on plus, and plus enables us to add a certain amount of units to our current value. So n is the units we want to add, so we want to add 7, and unit is the actual unit of our value, so 7 days. I'm gonna say days. Okay, so this basically is gonna add 7 days to today's date, and this whole condition is gonna check whether this particular date is within 7 days from now. So I'm just gonna click on execute a step, and as you can see, we have 1 item in the true branch, which means this date is within 7 days from now. But if I change it to 1 day from now, and if I execute this step, it's gonna say it's a false item because it's not within 7 days. Also, if I click on my first condition, you can see that the result is only the date. But if I click on my second condition, you can see that it's more elaborate. We have today's date, we have a time, and etc. And if you wanna change that to this format, we can do so. It's not necessary, but I'm just gonna show you how you can do that. So type dot, and once you type dot, n8n is gonna provide you with a list of suggested tools, and the one you're interested in is the toDateTime tool. So I'm just gonna click on that, and as you can see, our first date is similar to our second date right now in terms of format. So let's see how this one works. So I'm just gonna change this to 7 again, and I'm gonna execute this step, and as you can see, this one works perfectly fine too. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. There are multiple ways to accomplish a certain task. So now that we have our if condition, we wanna indicate what happens if the condition is true versus false. So if the condition is false, we do not want to do anything. We just want to wait. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on this plus sign, and I'm just gonna say no, and here we have no operation, do nothing. So I'm just gonna choose this one, and this one can also serve as a placeholder, but right now we are not gonna do anything if the desired date is not within 7 days from today. But if the desired date is within 7 days, we want to notify our team, and in order to do that, I'm going to use an app called Slack. So Slack is basically an app you can use to message with your team. It's a messaging app. It's very similar to WhatsApp, but it's used in more professional settings. But if you would like to, you could use WhatsApp or you could use email to send this message to your team members or potentially yourself. So I'm gonna click on Slack and I'm gonna come down here and I'm just gonna choose the send a message module. So with this module in place, we will send a message to our Slack team whenever we have an appointment within 7 days from today. So I'm gonna click on this, and first thing you need to do when you connect an external app to your n8n is to set up an API. API basically enables you to connect to external apps because external apps are not natively incorporated into n8n, and if you want to work with any meaningful workflow, you need to use external apps. So whenever you want to do that, come here and click on create new credential, and once you do that, you're provided with a set of instructions. So here you can click on open docs and you can go through the instructions to see how you can set up your API for a Slack or any other app. n8n has great tutorials when it comes to n8n API integration. So read through those, and if you really have questions, leave them in the comment sections. And if you want me to create videos and go over, for instance, how to connect n8n to a Slack, please let me know in the comment section and I will create the video for you. But I've already created my Slack account, so I'm not gonna create another one. I'm just gonna use this Slack account. And so resource for us is the message. We want to send a message, and the operation is send, and we want this to send a message to channel, because in a Slack you can both send message to channels which are viewed by multiple people, or you can send the message to a specific user. In this case, I'm going to choose channel, and here we can use our specific channel. So I'm gonna say my channel is this channel, right? And message text, now it's the right time to provide our message. So I'm gonna say, hey, we have a new appointment. We have a new appointment within 7 days from now. And here I'm just gonna provide the email address and everything. And also you can click on expression and make this bigger so you can see everything. And I know I misspelled appointment, that's all right. And now I'm gonna say email, and I can drop the email address to this section. And basically once I do that, I do not need to manually write the email address each time. Basically, whenever a new form is submitted, we automatically extract the email and put it right here. And for the date, I'm just gonna choose the desired date from here. And make sure whenever you're dropping information from previous nodes to your existing node, you want to make sure you're on expression, not fixed. And so this is our message, and I'm gonna close this, and we are good to go. We should be able to check our Slack messages to see whether it was sent. So I'm going to go to my Slack so you can see how it works. And I'm gonna launch my Slack, and basically whenever we execute the workflow, it's gonna get activated and it's gonna send our message. So I'm gonna open my Slack, and I'm gonna go to my chats, and as you can see, this is the channel we were talking about. So if I go back to n8n and if I execute the workflow, it's gonna send a message here. So hey, we have a new appointment within 7 days from now, email address, date, and this was automated by n8n. And if you wanna activate this workflow such that you do not need to click on execute workflow each time you're running this workflow, you need to come here and you need to activate your workflow, say got it, And here you wanna basically go to production URL, and you wanna copy this, and you also wanna unpin this and copy this, and then go to your browser and paste the URL. Here, whenever we submit the form is gonna activate the workflow, and we do not need to click on execute workflow each time. Do this once your workflow is ready and you wanna test it. So I'm just gonna provide a new email address. I'm gonna say name2@gmail.com, and for the date I'm gonna choose basically today's date. Okay, and I'm gonna submit this, and if I go to my Slack, you can see that we have the new message, and this time we did not click on execute workflow, and this is the message. And if I go back to n8n, and if I go to executions, as you can see, I have had many runs of this workflow, but the previous runs had the bigger logo right beside them. That means it's a test run, but this one was the actual run, so it did not have the bigger logo right next to it. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please like the video. Also subscribe to my channel so you get notified when I drop new n8n tutorials. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment sections. Thank you very much and have a great day.